Hi everybody, it's Susie, and tonight I'm going to bring to you something a little bit different than I would ordinarily do. It's more in remembrance of 9/11. Marion Smith had posted something on her ARTSY ADDICTS group channel in Facebook that she was making some sort of a remembrance on her blog, a collage of some kind. And you can make anything you want dedicating to the 9/11 incident, and it has really taken a big toll in my life. On 9/11, I was getting dressed early that morning, getting ready to go on an interview in the World Trade Center tower. And shortly before that interview, a day or beforehand, a business day before, I had received a phone call from the Human Resources Department saying that instead of coming the time that was scheduled, they were pushing it up 1 hour. And if it wasn't for that scheduled time that changed, I may have been in the World Trade Center. I know people who were there. I worked in that right across the street from there for a little over 12 years, and I used to deal with a lot of people business-wise over the telephone every morning for the longest time who are no longer with us. That day was horrible because I turned the TV on and I was like, oh my God, what a horrible movie. And there I am getting dressed and I'm seeing that it's not a movie. It's actually a live news channel that the World Trade Center was, a plane went into it. And my husband came running down and he came running in from outside and he said, they're saying that it was an attack, that the United States, New York City, was bombed. And I was so taken back I started to cry. I got very scared. Across our house there was, I'm just changing the paper background so you can see this. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I got very scared because all around our house there was all debris that flew over. It's very, very, very scary. And I can't even imagine how scary it was for the people who were there, who had to try and think they'd save their lives by jumping out. And just a very horrible thing. I can't even think about it. I wanted to go down to the site not too long after it happened, but I couldn't go until January. After the September 11th, and when I went and came out of the trade center, out of the train station, the ride was about 50 minutes from home. I turned around when I got out of City Hall to walk towards, I was with my husband, to walk towards the World Trade Center site. You would not see one smile. Absolutely nothing. The only thing that I can say is so many people were helpful to everybody else. Suddenly, everyone was friends, and I do believe that it should remain that way, but I think it only happened because of that tragedy. It was the most devastating thing that I have ever seen in my entire life. It was nowhere even close to what television had shown. And to see all of these postings of different people on the fences, one after the next, who are family members and brothers and sisters and mothers and children and husbands and wives and family and co-workers, and just one after the next. It was horrible. The building was so crumbled up that, you know, you look at it on TV, it looks really small in pieces, but when you're standing near it and it's so big and so crumbled and debris all over, and just a very horrible thing to say. And I'm not going to keep ranting on here, but this is Marion. Thank you so much for being what you are to everybody. I know we don't even know each other, but you are very special. You always come up with something special to make. You always know how to put it together. I really admire that about you, Marion. I have created my own group on Facebook, which people were invited, came and left, but that's okay. I'm not Marion. I'm definitely not Marion. I'm Susie. But Marion, you made such a beautiful idea for people to make a remembrance for the holiday, not for the holiday, for the remembrance for the 9/11 date. And this is mine, and it's so strange the way this came out. I took these photos off of Google, and I just wanted to actually make a tag that would be in remembrance of 9/11. And naturally, it's not going to be a fancy pretty tag, because there is nothing fancy or pretty about the World Trade Center happening. So I had taken this New York Times printout, and some over here of the firemen and the flag, and another fireman and a fireman, because those are the guys that really went in there and risked their lives, so many of them that died, to try and pull people out of the horrible flaming building. And it's so funny the way that I did that is that when I was cutting this out, it appeared to be a cross, and I didn't even make it that way. So I guess God was kind of with me a little bit. I'm not religious, but I guess He was with me when I was making this. And I used some pretty eyelash trim in white and blue, and some red ribbon to reflect kind of red, white, and blue, or even the red ribbon is like flow of blood, and the feathers reflecting the wings of all the angels that are there now watching over us here. Some of these really pretty gems, and some red, white, and blue wild orchid craft flowers with some lilies that always fit every occasion. And I just want to say one last thing to everybody here. I know everyone in the world has problems. We have health issues, we have issues at home, we have marital problems, we have kid troubles, either we have kids or we don't. And some of us have great husbands and great boyfriends and great parents, and some of us have bad parents and bad husbands and bad boyfriends. But the one thing that we have is we have a life, and we're alive, and whatever it is, we all need to be thankful. If we look in our own closets and say, everybody always thinks that they have it the worst, the littlest bit of something, they think they have it the worst. And what I say is, you know what? Go into a hospital and look at the person laying in ICU who's struggling. That's the one that has it the worst, is struggling for the last breath, for the last life. And, I'm listening to myself saying this, and I'm getting really mushy because I'm trying to hold back myself from kind of breaking down. And you have to really be thankful for whatever little bit that you have, for whatever little bit that God gave us. And I'm not a very religious person. For whatever little bit that we have, for whatever little bit that we get, we should be thankful for it, because those people who were at the Trade Center that day woke up going to work. They woke up going to work. Okay? And going to work and sitting there or traveling to work and already start their day early, and never knowing that they were not coming home that night. And that is the worst thing for anybody, especially the family members who are watching it on TV where the building is falling to pieces. I myself fell to pieces that day thinking, if they didn't call me and change the meeting time for my interview in the Trade Center building, where would I be today? So I want to thank you, Marion, for making me really think a lot I've been thinking of this since September, the beginning of September. I'm a September baby, and when this happened, I didn't even want to celebrate my birthday that year because it was so close to the 11th. But just looking at some of these photos on YouTube, I was being sickened by what happened to us on United States soil. And you know, these things can happen all around the world, and it's just a shame that we all can't get along. And it's terrible that there has to be bad people out there, but I guess that's what makes the world go around. It's a shame. But again, I'm not going to take a lot of your time up, ladies and gentlemen. This is my cross tag that I made for Marion's 9/11 remembrance on ARTSY Addicts. I hope that you like it. God bless you and your families, and everybody be safe, whether you're in the United States or not, because you never know when people are going to try to scare us or catch us off guard or on surprise. And I hope nothing like that ever happens again. And thank you so much for watching this video. I'm starting to get very mushy, so I'm going to call it an end. This is my 9/11 remembrance. God bless America, and God bless all of us here on YouTube. Thank you, everybody.